On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
On June 14th, 2019, Derek Dirk Banks, aka Lil Durk, and Davon Bennett, aka King Von, were arraigned before a court in Atlanta, Georgia, after the two rappers were charged with attempted murder for firing a gun at a man and stealing his money and vehicle. However, on October 22nd, 2022, Durk escaped going to prison after the murder charges were dropped, and according to our insiders, Durk's legal slate is clean and clear.
Congratulations to our boy, Lil Durk, who beat his charge, and apparently King Von was the guy who shot the dude.
But this may not last for Durk. Getting out of the crosshairs of the law doesn't mean he will stay out of it. An interview with a snitch within Durk's camp exposed the life of Durk and the secrets that could lock Durk up forever. The snitch has remained anonymous, talking to a middleman to protect his identity and to protect himself from Durk or the Black Disciples. But the information leaked is revealing beyond anything we have ever seen out of Durk's camp and life.
I'm tight with the family, and I know Durk for sure. Me and Durk talked this one time, and he told me he was scared to get locked up in prison. The man's got 6 kids. Why wouldn't he be scared?
In 2021, Lil Durk tweeted, "The goal is to not go to jail, so y'all will never see me do tough. I don't hit to look street. I am the streets." The snitch went on to reveal that Lil Durk only puts up a show for the media and his ops to make them feel like he is tough and not scared of anything, but in reality, he's scared of finding himself entangled with the feds again. For us to understand the context and insider information of Durk's life that the media doesn't know, let's take it back to the 2011 case. All through the years 2011 to 2016, Lil Durk found himself entangled in one legal case after another, and all of these legal issues have played a major role in his life. Lil Durk's first arrest came when he was only 17 years old in 2011.
We were young boys when my boy Durk first caught a charge. Life was tough on the streets of Inglewood, you know. Myself, Durk, and some of the family used to live at his grandma's house, but we didn't have nothing, so we looked to the streets.
With little to no food on his table, Lil Durk turned to the streets and began dealing in criminal activities. It wasn't a surprise that he joined one of the most dangerous gangs in Chicago, the Black Disciples, when he got involved in gang-related crimes, and at the same time, he welcomed his first child.
My man's Durk is BD for sure.
Becoming a member of the Black Disciples brought about Lil Durk's first arrest. In October 2011, Lil Durk was driving with one hand on the steering wheel and a bottle of liquor in his other hand when the cops pulled him over. On further inspection, the cops found a loaded gun in Lil Durk's vehicle. Although he was initially released on bond, Lil Durk was rearrested, and he served 3 months in Vandalia State Prison behind the charges in 2012.
My first gun case, I took a year. And I was like, man, I'm gonna stay out the streets. You know what I'm saying? Just got signed. But being in Chicago, man, I don't know. Wrong place, wrong time, like I said. They found out I was on parole still. You know, you get caught another gun on parole, they be giving me 4 or 5 years. They thought they had me, I ain't going. Hell no, I shot Sam Adams.
3 months in jail encouraged Lil Durk to follow a different path in life, and he once spoke about it in an interview. Some people go to jail and still be lost.
After Durk came back home from doing time, he started moving different. You know, he had a kid, right? He was all about getting paper and taking care of his kid. Word on the street at the time was that he became a rapper, and my mans was good at it too.
While in prison, Lil Durk decided to face rapping, and he used social media as a boost to get his name into the public space. Lil Durk posted videos of himself on platforms like MySpace and YouTube. Lil Durk got his big break after he released 2 singles, Sneak Dissin' and I'm a Hitter, while signed with Chief Keef in French Montana.
Man, my bros Durk and Sosa got everyone in the rack bumping and Sneak Dissin'. Of course, the ops stayed hating. Durk was hard on his bars when he got out, and he kept on dropping tracks back to back.
Lil Durk continued to release songs as the years went by, and all of his songs were major hits in Chicago and soon in all of the US. By the year 2013, Lil Durk had already released 4 mixtapes, and the time came for him to be signed to an official record label. His collective, Only the Family, and Def Jam Recordings had a joint venture deal. Lil Durk's 4th mixtape, which was released in 2013, was named the 8th best mixtape of 2013 by Rolling Stone.
The whole 300 Moon, the whole Chicago scene, when they came to Chicago, when they was sending the A&Rs out, I'm saying he was already close to us, and he just started cuffing me and Lil Reese. That's how me and Lil Reese got on Def Jam together. I'm saying we was thirsty, like, man, I want a deal. Just because, like I said, we was gonna be rich.
My bro Durk was wildin' in 2013. He was dropping track after track and mixtapes and music videos. Life was good for Durk till he got charged.
On June 5th, 2013, Lil Durk was arrested on South Green Street in Chicago after the police found a loaded .40 caliber in his possession. Lil Durk was charged with unlawful use of a weapon by a felon, and he was held on a $100,000 bond, and his lawyer claimed to have 9 affidavits from witnesses who confirmed Durk's innocence. Luckily for Lil Durk, one of the witnesses admitted the gun was his. After over a month in jail, Lil Durk was released.
Having a name, they so thirsty, they want a name. Put a gun on me, but I'm gonna beat it though, I ain't worried about that. Yeah, go to court for it. I still going to court for fighting. I had to do my parole time for my last gun case. That's my second gun case.
Durk beat the charge, and he hit the studio. Bro wasn't slowing down at all. He got so good in the rap game that our ops started coming for the family. They was hating on our bread.
I was in Stateville, and I see you leave at your cell 1 time a week. 3 times, you eat 3 times a day, but your last meal be at 4 o'clock, so. But I was plugging that though, so I was eating on the regular. They actually treated me good. It was 50-50. People we beefing with, it was fans. My first gun case, I took a year.
As Lil Durk's fame grew, so did his hate on the streets of Chicago. Being a member of a gang, rival gang members made Lil Durk their prime target as he started getting famous and recognized. Between 2014 and 2015, Lil Durk experienced a series of gang hits, and he even lost some of the people dear to him.
The hate in Chicago is crazy, bro, I tell you. They got Newski, man. After Durk got out the trenches, he tried to get the family out with him. Newski was a good rapper, too, and Durk recognized that. He put Newski up, and Newski even signed a record label deal. We was just about to go out and celebrate Newski's deal the night Newski was taken out.
It was about 3:20 p.m. on May 31st, 2014, in the city of Chicago, when gunfire rang in the air. OTF Nunu, aka Newski, Lil Durk's cousin, was hit by the bullets right in the parking lot where he sat in his vehicle. An injured OTF Nunu tried to drive away from the scene, but unfortunately crashed into a storefront.
My man, what's good? Who we got on Zach TV, bro?
OTF Nunu, man. You know how we rockin', man. Out here on Green 72nd.
OTF Nunu, who was only 21 at the time, had just signed a deal with a record label 2 days before he was assassinated on the streets of Chicago.
Newski's death hit the family hard, but the show hit Durk the hardest.
Newski signing his deal like 2 days before he got killed.
Yeah.
That's horrible, man. Like, how long have y'all, we were talking about signing him before he actually signed his deal?
Like, shit, we first started rapping, like 8 months.
Really?
Yeah.
After OTF Nunu passed away in 2014, Lil Durk continued to push himself further in the rap industry. It was in the same year, 2014, that Lil Durk was named one of the freshmen of 2014 by XXL magazine. While things seemed to be getting better for Lil Durk, the family got struck by another gang hit in 2015.
The ops was hating hard on the family, you know. We was winning. Durk and Sosa were thriving, but our ops couldn't make it in the game. Especially them guys on 63rd. They stayed hating, and they took out Chino, man.
Lil Durk's manager, OTF Chino, he actually got shot in the face and killed on the south side of Chirac. Now, ironically, after leaving a peace initiative meeting, he went to the south side of Chirac where he planned to go get some food in. Then an op walked up on him and shot him in the face. He later died. Now, Lil Durk has been silent thus far on the issue.
Uchenna Agena, aka OTF Chino, was more than a manager to Lil Durk. He was a friend and a brother to the rapper. When he was assassinated in 2015, it left Lil Durk devastated. On March 27th, 2015, rapper Lil Durk was recording at a studio when he received a phone call informing him of the passing of his friend and manager, OTF Chino.
Like, how long ago did you talk to him? Like, how before it actually happened?
Like 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
10.
Just 10 minutes after Lil Durk had got off the call with OTF Chino, he received another call telling him how OTF Chino was taken out at 1:50 a.m. while sitting in a car outside a restaurant in Avalon Park, Chicago.
He was like, he told me, finish up the album and the song called Why Me. He told me just redo it because the label on our ass, redo it for the label on my ass. I'm like, I got you. Yeah, because he was in the house laying down because I was on FaceTime with him. He was in the house laying down. And he called, like, his girl called 10 minutes later.
So wait, he was killed at his house?
No, that's what I was thinking. But he had went to a restaurant.
Chino was cool, man. No cap. but these streets ain't friendly.
Despite the legal challenges and the rivalry from gang members Lil Durk faced in the wake of his rap career, he continued to push forward until he began touring the country and performing in various cities. Even at that, Lil Durk was still constantly attacked by rival gang members until the gang wars grew beyond the walls of Chicago.
I'm gonna tell you again, man, the mops was hating hard. I was with Durk on a tour bus out in Philly in 2015 when them ops pulled up on us. Man, it was crazy. These three dudes pulled up and fired at our tour bus.
On September 5th, 2015, Lil Durk almost found himself on the wrong side of the law after a crossfire suspected to be gang-related happened just some minutes before his performance at the Theater of Living Arts in Philadelphia. The gunman opened fire into the crowd, striking Lil Durk's tour bus and taking the life of a man who was hit in his abdomen. The suspected gunmen were taken into custody for questioning, but luckily for Lil Durk, he wasn't arrested. Lil Durk would stay away from trouble in the years that followed, but it didn't take a while before he got caught up with shady criminal activities. The events of Durk's life have so far revolved around the legal challenges he has faced throughout his career. But in all his years of having a criminal record, nothing beats what he had to go through during his attempted murder trial. Our insider has given a detailed account of everything that happened to Durk from February 5th, 2019, when he allegedly attempted to murder a man.
In the early hours, February 5th, 2019, we were all out at the Varsity parking lot in Atlanta. Myself, Durk, and Vaughn were having this deal with a certain man, Alexander Witherspoon. When the deal went south, in no time, Browns went off, and Alexander was hitting a leg. Myself, Durk, and Vaughn left the scene uninjured.
While the insider tried to speak on what truly went down on that fateful day, the details seemed to be incriminating and in line with what the prosecution has against Durk.
I was told in May 2019 that surveillance had been pulled up, and Durk and Vaughn were seen in the CCTV footage from the scene. Luckily for me, I wasn't spotted.
After pulling CCTV footage and countless evidence and statements from witnesses, the prosecutors built a case against Durk and King Von and put up an arrest warrant for both rappers. While King Von got arrested, Durk turned himself in.
Everyone thought the track, Turn Myself In, which Durk released in 2019, was just another track for his fans. But I knew it. The whole OTF knew it. It wasn't just for his fans. Durk was just on his way to turn himself into the cops when he dropped that track. We all heard it on the track.
Today, his attorneys told us that both they and the rapper learned of these charges about a day or so ago. They also told us that he is currently on tour, at least he was until yesterday. They say they are hoping that he will be granted bond.
Look up and the judge can't look. Stay making up lies for sure. I'm an innocent man for sure. It is what it is for sure. And later adding, false accusation while they name dropping. Durk and King Von were taken to court and both charged with attempted murder, according to the prosecutors. Durk and King Von had fired their guns at the victim, Alexander Witherspoon, leaving him with a bullet wound to his legs, and they proceeded to steal his $30,000 cash and his Jeep Cherokee just outside the Varsity's parking lot.
You know, you get in type of that in a predicament like this, you would sit back and be like, damn, like why I ain't never do this more? Why I ain't never do this with my kids more? Why I ain't do this with my pops more or my mama? You know what I'm saying? So it just set me down so I just understand life more.
A member of his legal team says,
That's cap. The man had a gun, and when the deal went south, he threatened us first. So we pulled up on him in self-defense, and we didn't even pull the trigger on the man.
No, I work with some of Durk's producers, and the rumors, or the conversation within his camp was that Durk might get washed for this. And that was, that was a narrative when it happened for a long time. People were very concerned that were close to him that he was going to get caught up for this. So I agree. It's glad that he doesn't need to have this hanging over his head in the midst of all this success. And it's crazy because you could look at Von in this in two different ways.
Durk and King Von attorney revealed to the court that Witherspoon also had a gun on his person, and the rappers were only trying to defend themselves from being on the wrong side of the gun. They further added that the CCTV footage the prosecutors pulled up as evidence against the rappers didn't even show them pulling the trigger of the gun that allegedly wounded the victim, further proving Lil Durk's innocence.
You're about to surrender as we speak.
Yeah.
How come?
Because I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to run from.
Did you do it? Did you shoot this man? Did you commit the other crimes of which you're accused?
No.
They couldn't get anything on my bros, Durk and Von. That's why they closed the case. Too bad my man Von passed away.
Tonight, a major update on a story we followed for years. Prosecutors have dropped all charges against rapper Lil Durk after his real name, Derek Banks. Back in 2019, the rapper spoke exclusively with Channel 2 after turning himself in. Police say he was involved in a shooting outside the Varsity. Now, Fulton County's DA office says it will not prosecute him. In the last 20 minutes, Durk's lawyer sent us a statement saying
While the case was still on trial, rapper King Von passed away after an altercation broke out at a nightclub in Atlanta. One of our insider sources has revealed how the passing of King Von, who was like a brother to Durk, affected Durk amidst their attempted murder trial in building a rap empire together.
Are you biologically related to him?
That's my brother. Like, we ain't got the same mother and same father though, but that's yeah.
How'd you guys meet?
Growing up, same area, hoods, you know how that go.
Do you remember the first time you met him?
The first time, nah. He always be outside, deep as hell, so probably the first time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he came from my mama, like my brother, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He just started rapping, you know what I'm saying?
Damn, man, I'm jealous, man. You just started rapping?
Yeah, you gotta get in, now.
Yeah, you see how it is now.
But his music crazy, though.
Okay.
Like, he got, like, his videos, like, millions already, like 20 million, all that.
Wow.
He was riding in the backseat of the car with Durk and vibing to his track with Pooh Shiesty back in Blood. I remember Durk was on Instagram Live that evening when people started talking about Von getting shot in the comments. We thought the fans was capping until Durk received a call from one of our mans who told him what went down with Von.
On the fateful night of November 6, 2020, King Von was out partying at a nightclub in Atlanta when a fight broke out inside the club. King Von and his opponents decided to take the fight outside the club. But what started as a mere argument escalated into a fistfight. But it didn't take a while before things went south and triggers were pulled. King Von and 2 other men lost their lives in the altercation, while 3 other men were injured, including a police officer.
Man, Von's getting taken down was tough on the family. Everyone in Iraq was devastated, man. Von was for the streets, so when they took him out, the streets were mad pissed, and Durk went to get the guys that did this so bad.
Rapper Quando Rondo and his associate Lil Tim were accused of taking out King Von. In fact, Lil Tim was arrested for firing the weapon that took King Von's life. But Durk couldn't do anything about it because he had the authorities watching his every move. All through his attempted murder trial, Durk was being watched by the authorities, so he couldn't get involved in any gang-related activities. However, Durk and King Von had their attempted murder charges dropped almost 2 years after King Von passed away.
I say, it's this amount the park right here. You feel me? I said, I'm not going in the club. I said, little boy, go in there, find you a little female or whatever, cuz I'm like, you got 15 minutes, cuz, and I'm dipping. We about to go to the house. You feel me? My little brother's so thirsty, like, boy.
According to court records, on October 22nd, 2022, the attempted murder charges against King Von and Durk were dropped due to prosecutorial discretion. According to the district attorney, they did in fact find reason to believe that Durk and King Von were guilty of the crimes levied against them, but the prosecution decided not to prosecute the rappers for these charges, while their attorney, Manny Aurora, celebrated this decision, claiming that the state reached the right decision and Durk could finally put the events behind him. Durk himself didn't say anything regarding this verdict. We believe that Durk would have been more elated by this decision had King Von been by his side when it was passed.
Anyone who listens to Durk or OTF rappers knows that they rap about the real deal. They tell the world what happens on the streets of Chicago. This is real life, y'all.
All of Durk's tracks have no doubt mirrored how the streets of Chicago have shaped his life. From the gang activities to getting locked up and doing time, the people he has lost on the way due to the never-ending gang violence in Chicago. This truly is real life, and it's the life Durk has had to live. The past 10 years have been life-changing for Durk, from moving out of Chicago to becoming a Grammy winner and even almost getting married. Lil Durk has no doubt had a thrill on his ride to fame, but he has also suffered the chills along the way as he's lost a lot of people. Sadly, these gang hits have continued to affect the family. Lil Durk has lost a lot of people along the way, and he has even had several attempts on his life since he became famous. Every day he wakes up with one question on his mind.
Who's next?
Could Lil Durk be the next OTF member to be taken out?